finished making this. If I can hold it up and get a little better look at it. And as the title, I guess, indicates, I made it with a thing called an Instant Pot. If you don't know what an Instant Pot is, stay tuned here and I will be showing you shortly. It is a raspberry cheesecake, by the way. I guess that was also in the title. This is a glass of hot water. I think hot water on the knife is supposed to make it easier to cut something like this. These raspberries are just piled up on top, so I'm sure they're going to go everywhere. A left-handed guy in a right-handed world here. Let's see what we've done. Not too bad. I even got a few raspberries. A bit of the crust left behind. Oh my God. That is very good. What follows here is the process that I went through to make it, using an Instant Pot. It's got a nice chocolate glaze on it. Give you a look at what it looks like inside. So, without further ado, let's watch the rest of the video here. Well, hello everybody. I have gone from doing Canadian recipe cooking videos to showing off some Canadian technology. This thing is called an Instant Pot, a Canadian invention, which has now become quite popular practically worldwide, I guess. I read an article Christmas time that Amazon in the US sold over 3 million of them for Christmas. It's a combination, well, rice cooker, yogurt maker, pressure cooker, slow cooker, you name it. A lot of it's just pre-programmed, and you can do many different things with it. I've only had it for a few days. I've made rice pudding in it. I've cooked rice and vegetables in it, and that's about it. But today I am going to make that nice cheesecake that you just saw. And I don't know, it appears to be quite a simple process to do it. I never knew that you could make a cheesecake in a pressure cooker, but we'll give it a try and see what happens. Well, as I said, it isn't that complicated, but there are a few ingredients involved here, and I think I have them all laid out there. For the crust, it's a cup of crushed Oreo cookies and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I almost bought the regular Oreo cookies with the frosting in between 2 layers, and I couldn't decide what on earth you would do. You'd have to remove all the frosting, I guess. When I came across the package in the grocery store that's just crushed Oreo cookies for this purpose, so that's what I went with. 16 ounces of room temperature cream cheese, and all of these ingredients are room temperature. I took everything out last night and left it out overnight. 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of seedless raspberry jam, and I didn't even know there was such a thing. I thought I'd have to buy raspberry jam and put it through a strainer, but they do make a seedless raspberry jam. 1/4 cup of sour cream, a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 2 eggs. This last group of ingredients are the filling, and now for the top you need 3/4 cup of finely chopped milk chocolate. I bought the little chocolate buds, didn't have to do any chopping. 1/3 cup of heavy cream, and to decorate the top, fresh raspberries. So let's get the mixer out and get started, I guess. Well, I've generously buttered a 7-inch springform pan. I'm not so sure that I'll be able to put a link to the recipe down below. I will try, but this recipe came from an app, not from a specific website, and I don't know if I can do that or not, but If I can do it, it'll be there, and if I wasn't able to do it, it won't be there, I guess. That's the cup of crushed Oreo cookies, and 2 tablespoons of butter melted. Get all of that butter incorporated here. Hopefully I'm having better luck with my new GoPro. The microphone is so sensitive. The last video that I did using it, just my shirt touching the tripod made a horrible noise on the video. So filming from further away this time and trying not to touch the tripod. Now this gets pressed into the bottom and about 1/2 inch up the side of the pan. Once I have finished doing that, it goes in the freezer while you make the filling. I'll fool around with this a bit more before I put it in the freezer, but can't imagine it's too exciting watching me, so I'll bring you back when I have the stand mixer set up. The first thing to do is to cream the cream cheese and sugar together, I guess. Which will probably take a few minutes to get it well blended at a medium speed. Now you blend in the flour, sour cream, and the seedless raspberry jam. Until that is well combined. Last ingredient to get added is the eggs. One at a time. It says not to over mix them. Just get them combined in there. Here goes nothing, I guess. This just gets added to the springform mold. I usually get more on the counter and made than I get in the container, but such is life, I guess. Okay. Now I have fashioned a thing like a sling out of foil. And this is for lowering it down into the Instant Pot. One hopes without dropping it. Instant Pot is moving into the dining room. I'll take you in there in just a second so I can have space to clean up the mess that I've made while it's cooking. 1 cup of water goes in the bottom of the Instant Pot, and it comes with several attachments and appliances, and this is the rack that comes with it. That will keep the springform pan up off the bottom of the Instant Pot. Sorry about the blank spot. I had to go back to the kitchen to get the... Now, I'm going to take scissors and cut that off. It says just to push it down in there so it doesn't get in the cheesecake, but I know I will have it in the cheesecake. So I'll bring you back when I have the cover on the Instant Pot and show you how I program it. And this would be a good time to mention that this is not a paid infomercial or anything. I'm just impressed with my new piece of equipment here and I'm showing it off. I'm not being paid to demonstrate or advertise the product. Okay. Now I am supposed to select high pressure. This is a little button here, this pressure level. Oops, no, that isn't working. What do I do? Pressure cooking, I guess, first. And it's already on high, and it's supposed to go to 25 minutes. There we go. As you can see, this is new to me. Okay. In 10 seconds time, it should. There we go. It's on, but what it's doing now is heating up that water that's in the bottom there and bringing it up to pressure. When it gets it up to pressure, it will start the 25 minutes timing. It cooks for 25 minutes on high pressure, and then when the beep sounds again, it will turn off. And for 10 minutes, it'll be a countdown there. For 10 minutes, you just let it cool down on its own. And then after 10 minutes, there's a pressure valve up here that you can toggle over and release the rest of the pressure. So in about 35 minutes or so, we will know whether or not this is still in the pan or all over the inside of the Instapot. Well, it has finished its cooking phase and is now on its 10 minutes cool down before I can open it. It's still under pressure right now. And I'll bring you back when I release some of the pressure, but it's been 2 minutes. We've got 8 more minutes to go. Well, it's had its 10 minutes of cool down. We'll see if there's any steam left in it. Not very much. A little release there. And there's a little safety button up here. You press that. If it goes down, you're safe to open, I guess. You hear that or not? It plays a little musical tune. Now, I can get this lifted out of here. Without upsetting it, that is. I'll take this out to the kitchen. Well, it's on a wire rack to cool. When it comes out of the pressure cooker, there is a small amount of water that's accumulated from the steam on top, and you just take a paper towel and gently touch those spots until it absorbs up the water. And now it will cool completely until I can unmold it. And after it is unmolded, it will go in the refrigerator for 4 to 6 hours to thoroughly chill before you can decorate the top. I just did some checking online because I'm certain if you don't have an Instant Pot that you could bake this in the oven. And I looked up at least a couple of recipes for 7-inch cheesecakes. And they recommend a 325-degree oven, placing the springform pan inside of another larger pan and adding boiling water up to about half of the depth of the pan, and cooking for an hour at 325 degrees. And you can check to make sure it's done by just testing the center with your finger to make sure it's set. And then you would shut the oven off and prop the oven door open an inch or two with, it said, either a wooden spoon or an oven mitt or something that's not going to combust anyway. And let it cool down in the oven. And then you would carry on as I'm doing with the rest of this. So I'm quite sure it would work quite well in a regular oven as well as in the Instant Pot. So I'll bring you back when I make an effort to unmold this thing. Now the moment of truth. It has sort of shrunk away from the edge all the way around, I think. I haven't put a knife down in there or anything, but I think it should come off the... Yeah, Ta-da! Now, the hard part. It gets covered with plastic wrap and has to be refrigerated for at least 4 hours before you can put the toppings on it. So I'll bring you back once it's thoroughly chilled. Oh, and I think I should be able to put a link down below. I've been playing around with the app, and if I emailed the recipe to myself, it arrived with a web link and a internet link. So I should be able to put a link to this down below, and as I've said, if you follow the instructions for baking it in the oven that I just gave, I'm sure you really don't need to do it with an Instant Pot. Well, I'm ready to make the topping, which is what they call a ganache, I guess. I've divided the chocolate pieces into half, and that was 1/3 cup of boiling hot milk chocolate. It says once that's dissolved, add the remaining chocolate. Quite sure why we didn't do that all at once to begin with, but that's what the instructions said to do. Not completely dissolved, but it's pretty well getting there, I guess. I've got to get the cheesecake out of the fridge. Now the idea is to spoon this over the top enough that it will cover the top and run down over the sides a bit. Not to cover the sides, but just to make some places where it's puddling down over the side, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Seems to be doing that quite nicely there in front anyway. Chocolate certainly smells good. I just got my chance to lick the spoon. Chocolate is very good. Now, while the chocolate is still fresh, before it sets up, place some raspberries to make sort of a decorative top, I guess. Don't remember exactly what I paid for this little tray of raspberries, but they are very expensive. A bit of a delicacy here this time of year. The rest of them inside, sort of. Probably watched me place enough raspberries, right? This This has to go back in the refrigerator again for the chocolate to set up before you cut it. So I'll bring you back. Well, I guess you probably will see that at the beginning of the video. I will show at the beginning of the video the cutting and trying of this. So this part will finish the actual preparing of the cheesecake. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to try it with or without a Instant Pot, I hope you do. Thank you very much for watching.